Right, okay, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I've got a transfer roundup and it's a massive one. We've got 11 stories. 11 stories for you today. Four of them are on player signings. One of them, or two of them, are on links to other player signings, and the rest are all on players leaving or potentially leaving. So, yeah, 11 massive stories, all relatively important. So a lot of them are on deals what are becoming towards the later stages or are done. So, yeah, there's lots to talk about, a lot of important things to talk about today. I'm looking for just absolute madness. What we've seen in these the last 48 hours, what we've seen is absolute madness. So, yeah, let's get into it. Start off with then Conor Gallagher. Conor Gallagher is going to Atletico Madrid. Atletico extended their deadline on the time they gave him to make his mind up, and it's been a success for them because he has chosen to go to them. So it's expected we'll get around 31.6 million for him. The medical's done. He did that yesterday. The contract's until 2029, I think. That's pretty much all signed. So I think we're basically just waiting for official confirmation from the clubs of this one. I'm pretty sure behind closed doors it's a completely done deal. Say £36.1 million. It's a decent fee. It's a decent fee. Obviously, it's less than what we were linked to selling him for last year. But obviously, that's going to happen as we've lost 1 year left. We lost another year on his contract. Well, I think with the contract situation, to have that fee is relatively good. I mean, I stand by what I said. I think it's disappointing we're losing Conor Gallagher. So he's one of those players, he gives it 100% every time for the club. He's a good player to watch, but he's at his best. What was it, the game against Palace, the season where he scored 2 goals? He ran like 12k or 13k or something in the game. He's a player, he'll give us all. And he's a brilliant player to watch. He's Chelsea since birth. Camped us numerous times last season. It's a very shame. It's a big shame the way it's happened of him being, distanced from the first team stuff. It's disappointing, and the way it's happened. But we almost expect it's going to happen. So yeah, it's a tricky one. So it's not nice to see him go, but it's just so expected. And fee wise, it's a decent fee for him. It's a decent fee. Obviously, if it was last season, we could have got a bit more for him. But yeah, I don't think fee wise, especially when you've got 1 year left in the contract, you can't really complain with a deal over 35 million. But yeah, so I wish him all the best at Atletico Madrid. Obviously, for him, it could be a really good move for him. Obviously, it's going to be a disappointing move for him, I expect, because in one aspect, because obviously he's leaving us. But he's going to play under Simeone. I think he's going to thrive under Simeone in his playing style. He's going to be perfect for it, and I hope he does. I really hope he does. I hope he does brilliant for him. And he can sort of send a message back to our board because, he's a great player. We know that. So yeah, wish him all the best. Bit of a shame, but hey, that's life. That's football, I guess. There's nothing we can do about it. So next up, this is a big one. This one came out of nowhere today. Pedro Neto to Chelsea. It's here we go from Fabrizio. It's a £51.4 million fee with £2.6 million in add-ons on top of that. His agent Jorge Mendes and us have agreed on personal terms after Pedro said yes to us. This is also all according to Fabrizio Romano. Fabrice Hawkins, who has been covering the story since it was broken earlier on today, said he said goodbye to the teammates, he's flying to London, he said it's all done. David Ornstein also said that he will undergo his medical very shortly in London. So, yeah, this one, it's been reported in the very late stages, we didn't hear anything about this until earlier today, where we basically heard that a fee had been agreed, and now obviously we're getting the news that medical has been happening and personal terms are all nailed down. The Cancelo reports that Chalobah and Fafana were discussed as swap deals, and that we had 3 bids rejected overall, but these are all kept behind the scenes. That's interesting. Chalobah and Fafana offered. But as I said, it's a very quiet deal. It came out of nowhere. We know that all parties sort of told journalists, but did want to keep it quiet. They sort of asked for it to be kept quiet, and hence why it's sort of just broken like that today, out of nowhere. And it's actually quite a nice feeling, isn't it? Just having a deal. We had no idea this deal was happening, and it's just broke to us like that. Just, on the day, well, not obviously on the day, he's not going to sign for us today, he'll be tomorrow or sometime over the weekend, probably next week. But, it struck to us on the later stage. It's almost like a nostalgic feeling, like, remember back in the day where, we wouldn't get this we wouldn't know a player's going to sign for a certain team like a week before. It's all just broke like that. As it gets up the later stages, it's a weird feeling, but quite a nice feeling. So it's something we're not really used to anymore, so it's different, isn't it? But yeah, so it was purposely kept quiet from all parties, and obviously journalists as well. People like Fabrizio, he's very good at doing stuff like that. Like, if someone wants it to be kept quiet or something, he will. And I'm pretty sure I read something saying he did actually know about it yesterday, but he kept it quiet. So he's very good with stuff like that, Fabrizio. If he wanted to keep quiet, he will. So let's actually talk about. So why Pedro Neto? Why have we gone for him? So he can play left wing and right wing. He's a versatile player style because he can be right on the touchline out wide, or he can play a bit more inside. He's a baller. But like, he's skillful. He's fast. He's good in multiple scenarios, one-on-ones, counter-attacks. He fits them to a T. He's a very good player, very skillful, as I said, very creative player, good to watch. And I am a fan of the signing. I mean, Pedro, I've always liked him as a player. I think he's been a very good player for Wolves. I've had career modes where I've used him, and he's become a bit of a career mode legend for me. So it's always nice to see one of those players join your team. So yeah, I like the sign of Pedro now. I think very good player. Obviously, fee wise, big fee. But you know what? It's a big fee. But we are getting a good player. He's Premier League experience as well. We can't forget that he's Premier League experience. He's not one of these 19-year-old teenagers we're bringing in from the other side of the world or different leagues. He's still young, obviously, but he's a 24-year-old who's played in the Premier League for quite a few years now. Was it, I think, 5 or 6 years he's played in the Premier League now? So he's got bags for Premier League experience. He's still very young. He's a very skillful player. So I'm a really big fan of the sign. I'm just so happy with this one. So versatile as well. I think it's a really, really good signing for us. I really do. I'm a massive fan of the signing. Some people have raised questions over his injury record. Isn't the best, having missed 50 games in the last 2 seasons and 23 games last season thanks to 2 hamstring injuries. But, I mean, look, obviously that is concerning. But let's not forget, with us, the amount of wingers we've got, he's not going to play, it's going to be more chance to be rested, so he's not going to have much of a strain on him as he would at Wolves. Let's also not forget that he's a young player. We see so many young players. I mean, I talked about I think it was Anselmino. Yeah, the other day I talked about Anselmino having recurring muscle injuries, and I compared him to Haaland in that style. He's 24. He's a young player. Just because he's been around for a while, he's still a very young player. Young players do have these recurring muscle injuries as they grow. I mean, yeah, okay, 24, 23, still having them. Some people might see as their own. It can be right. That is, you maybe not grown as much when you get to that age. So, it might be more than that. But if he's going to pass his medical, then we should be hoping it's fine. But obviously, we have had players who have passed the medical and then had those recurring injuries when they've joined. But that's one we'll have to wait and see. So hopefully it's not as big of an issue and we can sort of get away with it. But him as a player, there's no doubt he's a very, very good player. And I think for what he could be, we've got him a decent fee. We also can't forget that multiple teams are interested in him. I mean, Tottenham are making moves for him. It's also reported that Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City all were interested in him. So, I think everything, you put all the factors into it, we have got a good deal for him, and I'm very excited to see him play next season for us. Or this season for us now. It's this season. Games are back. Domestic games are back. It is this season. So moving on, quick one. Alfie Gilchrist. Gilchrist has signed for Sheffield United on a season loan. So we know it was between Sheffield United and Preston North End for which one he goes out on loan to. We knew he was going out on loan. He's chosen Sheffield United in the end. And he's already made his debut for him. Obviously, Championship is back tonight. The game has started, and he has made his debut for Sheffield United tonight. So, yeah, good for him. But best of luck to him. He's a good player. I'm happy he's gone out on loan. He could do some good for us. I think with the amount we've got great depth everywhere in the team. So the amount of depth we've got in defence, and obviously we've got players like Achiampong, who I don't think is going to go out on loan. So he'll be really good for us to use next season. So I don't think we were necessarily desperate for him as much as we were last season. So the best thing for him is to be playing regular football at a professional level. So that's exactly what this loan's going to do. Yeah, as long as he gets treated right, I think. I mean, look, we've already seen he's already made his debut tonight. As long as he's not bad for them, he will play loads of football for Sheffield United, what is brilliant. That's the best possible thing for us, as long as he doesn't get injured. Yeah, it's fine. He's gonna go out, he's gonna get loads of experience, and he's gonna come back next season. We're gonna go from there, see what happens. So yeah, obviously it's a decent move. It's the obvious move. Sheffield United as well. I mean, chances are they're going to be very good this season. Good chance they might get back promoted straight away again. So, yeah, best luck to him. From one young defender to the other, we mentioned him a second ago, Aaron Anselmino. Anselmino has been confirmed as a Chelsea player. It's official now. It's a £21.4 million deal under a 6-year contract for the centre-back, as I explained the other day in the video. But we knew he was going to go back out on loan to Boca Juniors, but we didn't know for how long for. It has now been confirmed he will go out for the whole season. So once again, yeah, this is another one where we just need him to get game time under his belt. I mean, look, as I said the other day, I think he's a really, really good player. I'm really looking forward to seeing him play. But the best thing for him now is that he does get regular game time, and obviously he's not going to get he's not going to get that now with us necessarily. So yeah, once again, it's the obvious move to send him back out on loan there, where hopefully he can be a priority player, play lots of football, get a lot of experience under his belt, because experience, that's the thing he hasn't got right now. He's played 3 games for Boca, so yeah, he needs game time. And he's not going to get that here. So yeah, really like the look of him. Very expensive for the player he is right now, or what he's done. But I think the player he can be, it could be a really good deal. But that's another one we'll have to wait and see. So wish him all the best out on loan at Boca Juniors. Next up, Samu Omorodion. I believe I say it. So the deal to sign Omorodion is also Here We Go. Fabrizio has given us the Here We Go. It's a £34.5 million fee and a 7-year contract. Obviously, coming from Atletico Madrid. He had his medical yesterday in Paris, as he's been competing in the Olympics of Spain. Obviously, he got the gold medal today. He didn't play today for them, but he has played a decent bit in the lead up to the gold medal match. So medical done in Paris yesterday, and congratulations to him as well for winning the gold medal. Obviously, he's signing from Atletico Madrid, as I mentioned a second ago. He only signed for Atletico Madrid this time last season, but he did spend the whole season out on loan at Alaves, where he bagged 8 goals and 1 assist from 35 games. Leverkusen did show late interest, but he chose us. So yeah, this is a weird one. So it's believed we're signing him just to sort of give a bit of depth to Jackson. Obviously, we know Brower, Fafana, they're more than likely to go. So we have got Nkunku, but he looks like he might play more number 10 role or out on the left. We've got Mark Gee, but as of right now, I was unaware whether he'll stay or whether he'll go out on loan. Obviously, he looks like a very good player. So it appears that he's more sort of to add depth to that striker position, give us another option. If that is what he's going to do, then 34.5 million, it's a lot for that. But also, he's another young player. It's what he could be in the future for us. And, so he's 20 years old, so in the future maybe he could be another star for us. Obviously, goal tally isn't the best. I'd say for what he's probably going to do for us this season and what he did last season on the pitch, it's not a great fee, and he's a player I know less about, I won't lie, so it's hard for me to comment really. So it's one I have to look more into. Yeah, if it was a big fee for a player who seems to be a lot of question marks over him, but hey, welcome to the club. Let's see what he can do. They're saying he'll stay. He won't go out on loan. So yeah, I guess we'll see what he can do throughout the season. He's a big guy, tall, looks like a strong player. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him. He's got a lot to prove, but at the same time, for a young player, let's just hope there's no pressure. Let's hope he can just go out there, do his job, and yeah, I guess we'll see what he's like. Obviously, he was clearly a player. There's a lot of interest in Leverkusen, all the way showing interest, but we just about managed to beat them to it. Another player coming in is Mike Penders. Penders was signed from Genk for £17.1 million, what's a total of €20 million, according to Fabrizio Romano. He's also going to be loaned out for Genk for this season, just like Anselmino is going out to Boca Juniors for another season. And this is this is our 8th goalkeeper at the club right now. 8th. And I think this is where a lot of angles came in. I think both the Omrodian deal and Pender's deal has brought a lot of anger in the club because it seems like we're just signing willy-nilly. And I can see that. I'm also getting Penders, he's not a player I know a lot about, to be honest. 19-year-old from Genk, he's thought to be very good from... but, I mean, the board have said that about Selina, Petrovic, Jorgensen. I mean, they said that about everyone in their NAM, basically. So, it's hard to judge. He has played for Belgium's youth teams. But, yeah, I mean, it's hard to comment, really, because I haven't seen much of him at all. Once again, it's a lot of money for another keeper. I mean, why do we need 8 keepers? We've got to start. As I get into say, we've sent a few keepers out on loan, and we're going to send a few more out on loan. But we've got to sell some. You can't have 8 keepers. And if I'm one of the keepers of the club, I'd be fuming. Because why have we signed 8 keepers? Why have we signed 8 goalkeepers? It's not put like you normally have 4 in the squad, and one of them be a third keeper who's never going to play. One of them's going to be a youth player who is never going to play. They'll probably just play in the development team. So why have we signed 8 keepers? Because half of them are going to be out on loan or sold, and then we're going to have. I mean, the backup's going to be Bettinelli. Then we're going to have Sanchez and Jorgensen fun out for them one spot. Then we're going to have another keeper who, God knows what he's doing. I mean, yeah, it's such a weird move why we keep signing goalkeepers. And it's not like we're giving these goalkeepers chances. Serena's going out on loan, as we'll get into again. Petrovic had a good season, and now it looks like, as we're getting to say, he's going out on loan. It doesn't make sense. I mean, what we're doing to goalkeepers, it just doesn't make sense. And I think this is where a lot of frustration's coming in, especially same like the Omrodian deal as well at the same time. It just doesn't make sense what these lot are doing. And we've got such a big squad as well. So it doesn't. I mean, another 17 million on another player under the age of 20. It's such a weird move. But hey, once get this. I mean, yeah. Good luck to Genk. Let's see how he does when he joins us next summer. We can look at him then and we'll get more of an idea then whether he's going to be in a similar boat to what Senior is now, or whether he'll actually push Sanchez and Jorgensen for the first team. But yeah. So one player I did mention was Jorge Petrovic. So Nazar Cancedo said that both Strasbourg and Fiorentina are interested in Petrovic. He also added that we're willing to let him go. I would have thought Fiorentina's probably more off the table now because they have signed David De Gea. But Strasbourg, I mean, look, it's obviously Bluco owned, isn't it? It's probably going to happen. He'll probably go to Strasbourg on loan. That's what my thoughts are. I mean, my actual thoughts is I don't like the treatment of Petrovic. I would like to see him being backed a bit more this season after a good season last year, but they're clearly not. I think he's a good player. I do think he's a good player, and I think he's too good of a player to, be sat here as a third keeper. So obviously, if you don't want him as one of your main 2 fighting for the spot, it makes sense to send him out on loan. But yeah, it's a bit disappointing. But hey, as I said over Gallagher, that's just how it is, I guess. That's how this board are doing it. And that decision was being made. So yeah, a bit disappointing, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens from here. And yeah, as I said, I would have thought it'd be Strasbourg, but yeah, we don't know that yet. Next up, Gabriel Solina. Solina has joined Barnsley on loan. Obviously, Barnsley in League One. His second loan since joining. Last season, he went to Cashley Pen of Belgium, and I said this year Barnsley. Best of luck to him. I mean, look. It means I'll be able to keep very much of the closer eye on him. So yeah, I'll look out for him a lot this season, see how he does. But yeah, if you're seeing what you're thinking, you've chose us over Madrid. You've been told they think very highly of you. And since then, you've gone out on loan to a Belgium first division team who were fine relegation, did get relegated, and then you've been sent out on loan to a League One team in Barnsley. So, what do you think of Solina? And you're seeing us sign more goalkeepers. Since we've signed him, we've signed 3 goalkeepers. Is it 3 or 4 goalkeepers since we last signed Solina? So, if you're Solina, what's going through your head now? You'd be fuming, wouldn't you, realistically? But yeah, he has gone out on loan. Next up, Eddie Beach. Eddie Beach has also gone out on loan to Corey Town. Another goalkeeper gone out on loan. It's the 20-year-old's third notice joining us from Southampton, having gone to Chelmsford and Gateshead last season. Let's go and wish him all the best. I mean, if I'm Eddie Beach, does Eddie Beach really have a future here? To be honest, I'm not sure. I don't think he does. I mean, we look how most youth players have been treated anyway. They've barely had a chance, so is Eddie Beach really going to get a chance? I'm not totally sure. Obviously, but this loan's a big step up. Crawley this time after Chelmsford and Gateshead, and that's nothing against Chelmsford and Gateshead. It's just the truth. Crawley is a big step up from them. So let's see how he takes this step up. It's been nothing like he's ever experienced before. So let's see how he does. Does he take it in stride? We'll sit back and watch him. I'll say wish him all the best of luck. Hope he does well. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Next up, Gabriel Mek, I believe it's pronounced. We will complete a move for Mek in the next few days, according to Fabrizio Romano. If you don't know, he's a 16-year-old attacking midfielder from Gremio, and the fee will be around £17 million. Another 16-year-old from Brazil for over £15 million. I think, obviously, close to £20 million. So, yeah, just more absolute madness for what apparent reason. I mean, another attacking midfielder. He's nuts, isn't it? It's just nuts. I just don't know what's going on at all. Yeah, I mean, another player, it's hard for me to comment on because I haven't seen him that much. But it just comes across as absolute madness. I mean, all the outsiders looking in are thinking. I want to know what the people on the inside are thinking. I want to know what the sporting directors are thinking, because this, just whatever we're doing, is complete madness. Last but not least, a little bit on Victor Osimhen. Well, I mean, one, how rare is it for Victor Osimhen to be the last story in one of these? And yes, so Osimhen plans to leave Napoli, but doesn't want a wage reduction or a loan, according to Fabrizio, who added, Chelsea are keen if he can change his stance on this. So obviously we're interested in Osimhen, but we don't want to pay his full wages. Well, I mean, they're going to be a lot, aren't they? And we could want to loan him. But so the thing with the Osimhen deal is it relies on Lukaku. So what's looking like to happen right now is Osimhen will leave Napoli and Napoli will replace that with Lukaku. But Napoli or Osimhen don't want Osimhen to go out on loan, and we don't want to put Lukaku on loan. We both want permanent deals for this. But they're both, say, Osimhen and Lukaku are two deals sort of leaning on each other for, both have got to happen for either to happen, if that makes sense. So, yeah, it's a tricky situation. I mean, Lukaku's a player we really should have got rid of by now, this time in the summer. That's a bit known, but we haven't. I mean, Osimhen-wise, it's Osimhen. He's a good player. Obviously, I think he has had a bit of a market drop after a disappointing last season. It's a weird one because obviously we shouldn't be paying anywhere near 100 million. It's like it still might be that. And it's like I think the only way we get Osimhen is if he does sort of agree to take a bit of a wage cut, and it is in a swap deal with Lukaku, because we can't be paying 100 million whatever for Osimhen. I mean, one, it's another just chaotic, wild signing. But two, can we actually afford to do that with the way our window is going? So, yeah, I think the only way we sign Osimhen is if he does agree to take a bit of a wage reduction, and if we get Lukaku going the other way in the deal. So yeah, that is it for today. I mean, I said absolute madness, story after story after story after story. But that is all the latest in the rapidly changing world what is Chelsea Football Club. Obviously, all the players back from the USA tour now. On to the Inter Milan friendly game on Sunday. Yeah, the season, look, very close to say all the EFL games, some of the EFL games started. Next week the Premier League starts, and we're still in absolute chaos with our squad. I think we've still got a lot of players to get rid of. And obviously it seems like we're still trying to sign a lot of players. So, yeah, thanks for watching. What's your opinion on everything? I mean, I'm not going to list it all because there's so much to list, but what's your opinion on everything? Comment down below what you reckon. And as we start to close in on the actual season starting, how do you feel? What do you think about the way our transfer window has gone? About what do you expect for this season? Just put it down there. Why not? But yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.